Hamza Talks. Hamza's live, on mute, no cam. You gotta, if you're competing with a professional, you gotta be professional, man. Let's see if I can find this on YouTube. Oh yeah, live now, one watching. Hello world. Hello internet. Just chatting up Mark Hyder here. So when you see a Google Plus link that says sign in, you click it and it brings you to a live hangout. And the host is disappear, MIA. There's a lot you can do. So without further ado, let me introduce myself. I'm Mr. Rasmus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, but I know a lot of YouTubers. When they put up a video, all they hear is when the views come rolling in, right? I got a big announcement to make. I'm just pulling your leg. So hang on, get this. What do you call it? I'm trying to think of a bad joke. Oh, is your fridge running? Yes. Well, you better go catch it. All right, now here's my favorite. Here's my favorite sound effect. Do you know what that means? That means Vader Slasher is close. You hear that noise at night? No lights on? You better fucking turn the light on. Because that means Vader Slasher is near. And if you don't turn the light on, he's going to sneak up on you and hit you in the head. Just like that. No fanfare. No, none of that when he comes in. All you hear is a... And then he'll conk you on the head. I like that gong noise. Oh, hello! Welcome to Hamza Talk on the YouTube TV.
Yes, that's it.
Hey, the host
Rasmus. How you doing tonight, Rasmus?
Just giving you some rounds of applause here, buddy.
I appreciate that, man. I was just wondering how long you could keep that going, but you passed the test, man. You passed by far. You've made the cut.
I really hope that you didn't keep me going because I was running out of sound effects pretty quick.
Hey, man, how are you playing those sound effects through the Google Plus Hangout? Are you just playing them through like another speaker system?
No, if you look on the left-hand side of your Hangout screen, there's looks like a yellow box with a little magic wand. A magic Don Juan.
Google Effects.
It'll take you to the headwear right away, and if you just click the left arrow twice, you'll get the sounds.
Headwear. Yeah, I've only ever seen the headwear before.
Yeah, there's headwear, there's backgrounds, eyewear, facial hair.
Nice, man. You've enlightened me tonight, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Put my monocle on.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Maybe I should do some headwear.
Did you start at 9:30?
Yeah, I did start at 9:30, but I wasn't really in the room. I mean, I turned on the Hangout on, and then I posted the link, and
Right.
I just wanted to see what kind of banter would be going on if I was absent for the first few minutes, you know, just to see if people were all like, oh my God, where is he? The anticipation is killing me. But yeah, I appreciate you coming in and keeping things live going. And tonight we are going to be talking about anything that comes to our brains.
Anything that enters one ear stays for a little bit, maybe sneaks out the other.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to see, maybe the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, yeah, that fits.
So, how's your day been going, man?
Interesting. Well, it's Sunday, lazy Sunday, and I don't know, since yesterday my foot's been really killing me.
Not better at all?
It's better. Like I can't move my big toe up Can move it down a little bit, but I have no fucking clue what's going on. But went out, rained a bit, and got some pair of these like sandal flip-flop things.
Oh, dude, I used to have some just like that.
Yeah, they're pretty fresh, you know, and they're good for just. I got them so I could just slip something on when I go to the laundry room and take the garbage out and all that.
Cool, man. Cool. They say you should wear stuff like that if you go into like a gym locker room or anywhere that you might contract athlete's foot or other pathogens. So,
Like
so
a
that's
swimming pool change room.
good morning.
You know, I've only had warts once, and it was one wart on my foot. It was when I went to the sketchiest swimming pool in town, the inner city swimming pool. I fucking got a wart on my foot.
Never had another one?
No, never had any other warts.
Very lucky, man. Very lucky.
I think some people are probably more susceptible than others.
I was working at the Veterans Hospital, the VA hospital, and you know, I worked there for just a few months, but after the first couple months, I noticed I started to get a wart on one of my fingers on my left hand. And then after I quit working there, it went away completely.
I see.
But I don't know. I've never really understood how that stuff works. But
yeah, me neither. I'm no wart wizard, so I don't know how you get them. Or it's a fungus, right? So you probably pick it up, and then it might take root.
Well, it's actually a virus.
Oh, virus. Yeah.
Yeah, and once it infects some of your cells, it actually keeps spreading underneath the layer of your skin. So that's how they can spread.
Underneath the dermal layers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's all up in the epithelial cells.
Hey, what's the weather like in Black Mountain?
You know, it was actually really warm today. It was kind of overcast, and it rained a little bit this evening, but it was near, or maybe it was 80 degrees. I was going to say near 80, but I think it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what the Celsius is on that. We could Google it.
I can't remember how you do it. It's like you multiply it by 2 and then add 36 or something. I can't remember how to convert.
That's about right. I couldn't remember if it was 32 or 36. Let's get to the bottom of this.
I think it's about 32. No, because 80 Fahrenheit is 26.6 Celsius.
Okay, so that's about what it was today.
Yeah, it's about multiply by 2, add 30, or subtract 30 and divide it by 2 if you're going the other way.
Cool.
No, I usually don't.
How are your mathematics? How's it?
I drink a lot of it.
How's my math?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm decent. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm the mathematician of the Food Dude Review crew.
Yeah, you gotta tally up the bill, right?
And hey, you know, I just wanted to say, speaking of the Food Dude Review crew, I'm gonna go in my other browser here and sign into that account and publish a video. Because I was editing one all day today. I uploaded it, I processed it, or let YouTube process it rather, and then I found some music files. And you know, I always change the music before I publish it.
Right.
Because otherwise,
cool. What restaurant was it?
What's that?
What restaurant did you go to?
We went to The Social in East Asheville, and it was pretty baller, man. I mean, it's kind of like a sports bar slash like Party Central type of place. You know, there's pool tables. They've always got either a band or karaoke, and a bunch of TVs up everywhere. There's like 10 big TVs hanging up, and the food's off the chain, man.
Nice. That's the most important part when you're doing a Food Dude Review crew.
Exactly. It's not just your average bar food, but they do have wings, and the wings are good.
I think that's a good gauge of a restaurant. If they mess up chicken wings, you know, what are they going to do right?
Right? And some places, some sports bars will only have wings and like mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
And that's
cool.
What
I think is a shame is when a restaurant gets the breading right, they cook it just right, but their sauces are bunk. You know?
Oh, that ain't cool.
And then you got the other side. Some restaurants have the best sauces, but their wings are soggy, you know, or like, you know, not cooked to perfection. Too much breading.
I love the breading, man. I don't know, man, because it soaks up the sauce, and well, as long as it's cooked right, like you said,
Yeah.
it has to be cooked to perfection. If it's just
Yeah.
soggy and it's mushy, that ain't cool, man. Or if it's overcooked, it could be just as bad, I suppose. It's just full of oil, you know. It's like these little, pockets of grease. But no, man, the social was great, man. And I've been working on the review for about 2 weeks now. Today I put in about 9 hours working on it. And
Hold on,
sometimes they take a long time to work on.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of work, dude, to get it the way you want it.
Because we'll go.
Zoom in on this.
I'm gonna publish it right now. Video was successfully published. So as of this second, a new Food Dude Review Crew video is up. I guess I could. I don't know. I was gonna say I could screen share the link, but do you know, Mr. Rasmus? Is there like a way I can put the link into the description of this video for the viewers?
The link to the video?
Yeah, the one I just published.
Oh, just a sec, man. Sorry.
Take your time, buddy. I'm gonna look around in the toolboxes to see if I can get this link out there to you guys. Let's see. Control room, Google Effects, cameraman, question and answer. The feature is disabled. Oh, great. I can't do the question and answer features. All right, let's see. Add item from a website.
Yeah, I don't know how or if you can change the settings of a Hangout video on YouTube if you've already published it.
Well, I was just going to put out the link to that Food Dude Review Crew video I just published.
If you were going to put it on the video, you could just leave a comment with the link. If it doesn't
go to my own video and leave a comment?
Yeah, I think you could do that.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I could do it from the Food Dude Review Crew page, too. So that way it won't look like it came from me.
Yeah. Be subversive about it. I don't know if you saw my camera. I was trying to point it out the window and zoom in so I could show you what was happening out there. But there's this big, massive rain cloud that was going by. And I guess just at that moment, the sun came through the clouds and it was lighting up the buildings on the side of the street. Golden. Golden.
Golden clouds?
No.
Hey, man, it's not letting me paste. Come on, paste.
Oh, you know what you might have to do? You might have to send the link where it says youtube.com/ everything
right.
after, like including and after the word watch, all that extra stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be the way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I just somehow, my clipboard got emptied.
Oh, I see.
I don't know why and I don't know how. But it's all good. I'll just go back to the new video, recopy the link. Wonder if I should edit the thumbnail first. The thumbnail's pretty whack. Nah, I ain't gonna worry about all that. We'll do that some other time after the show.
The big YouTubers and YouTube itself, they say if you don't have a good thumbnail, you won't get the views.
Oh man, you've sold me. I'm gonna go into the video manager and change it.
But you know what they recommend, like a crazy edited image file. You've probably seen them where it's like, there's like a face edited in and there's like a title and a picture and like all this different stuff.
Man, I'd have to hire somebody like Eddie to do some photoshopping, because I don't have that kind of time on my hands, man. I can barely edit these videos.
It takes a while to learn how to do that kind of stuff too. Like to get a good workflow where it's actually efficient to do it yourself.
I really liked Photoshop. I took some classes in high school and learned how to do all the layerings and the watermarks, and I got to be like pretty pro at it, man. But then I never did it again, and it's been what, like 11 or 12 years since I was in high school.
Right.
So okay, I changed the thumbnail, and now I'm gonna go and find this episode of Hamza Talks so I can leave this in the comments. It's pretty whack when you type in Hamza and look it up on YouTube. All the stuff that comes up is like whack as anything in the world, man. It's bunk. I tell you what, it's bunk.
Hamza. Hamza, Satinder Sartaj is the very first result.
I'm trying to debunk it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or unbunk it.
You gotta tag it, dude. Get the tags. Oh, hey, dude. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 12th video, if you search up Hamza, is the Vlogging Live Tommy NC 2010 versus Hamza show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 12th, man. Almost top 10.
Oh, man, this is pretty whack. I copied it again, and now it won't paste for some reason.
It might not be letting you paste a link.
Ay, ay, ay.
There's another one.
Yes.
Another Hamza result. Hamza La Sauce.
Hey, man, you want to, I could send you the link on Facebook Insta chat, and then would you mind to comment it on this video?
Yeah, sure. Do it up, man.
I don't know why it won't let me do it. If it won't let you do it, we'll just give up, but at least we tried at that point.
Yeah. If you don't try, you don't fail. But if you do try, you might succeed.
There you go. All right, it's copied. Oh my gosh.
James. Hey, James, the beard's coming along pretty good. It's a good look.
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet, but there is audio.
It's quiet?
Yeah, probably because the mic's so far away.
How about now?
Getting better.
Sounds good to me.
So, thank you for inviting me to back on again to the hottest, latest #1 Sunday night YouTube streaming show, Hamza Talks.
Oh yeah. You know it, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Just hanging out here. I taking care of my friend's cats for a few days, and that's about it. What's going on there? You know, I heard a little bit there before I came in about you that I didn't know that you worked at a VA hospital for a little while.
I did. Yes, I worked at a VA hospital just in the kitchen. You know, I was one of the cafeteria workers that would take the trays of food to the patients that were living in, you know, either the long-term facilities or even the people that were in the operating rooms for just a couple days or even one day, whatever, you know, all over the place. They had the 2 different sections of the hospital, and then they had 2 different branches of the nursing care facility.
How long did you work there?
Maybe 6 months, you know. It wasn't very long.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that was long enough to get to know a few of the people there.
Oh yeah, several. You know, I met several people that you know, became good friends with me, and it was hard because I was supposed to just drop the trays off and leave.
Tommy's shaking his head.
I better put on some headphones.
Yeah.
Tommy, why'd you shake your head?
Oh no, I just spilled a drink all over my floor. I'll be right back.
Tommy,
Oh, yeah, gotta clean that up.
Tommy, how come you shake
So
your
it
head?
looks like we've got there's another guest on the show here.
Tommy, say something. Why aren't you saying anything, buddy?
It looks like he must be on his tablet.
Look at this phone.
Yeah, he must be joining from his tablet because the camera quality is really not good on his tablet.
Tommy, say something, man. I can hear background noise, but I don't hear Tommy saying anything. Oh, Tommy's not allowed to make any noise because it's pay-per-view night.
Yeah, it looks like he's at Ashley's house.
Yep. Ashley doesn't like it when Tommy makes noise. That's what he told me.
Well, I think Ashley really doesn't like to be on camera with Tommy. So.
Well, he told me. He said Ashley doesn't like me to make noise. Like he's not allowed to cheer for his favorite wrestler. He's not allowed to get rowdy when he watches WWE.
That's
Tommy,
almost.
you gotta be quiet.
That's almost like Tommy being in his room at 10 o'clock.
Good point. Yeah, Ashley's just another mother figure.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! I got a spectacle on my chest.
I thought that was a belly button cover. So it looks like I'm left alone here to run the Hamza Talks show. This is awesome. I'm so glad to see everybody watching here, and I'm not sure if I'm on the screen or if you just see a monocule on the
Oh, you're
screen.
there. We can see you, man. And I'm almost done cleaning up this spill. I just kicked over a drink.
So what was the drink you kicked over?
It was a root beer. It was actually, my girlfriend knows I like root beer. She brought me home a can of something called hard root beer. It was a craft thing. I was showing it last night. I showed the unopened can last night, and then she poured it for me and brought it to me. And I don't have a coffee table, so I set it down on the floor. Then I forgot about it when I was plugging in the headphones and kicked it over.
You know, I heard that there's that's a whole new product line. Can echo. That's a whole new product line that's coming out. Along with the craft beers, it's like craft root beer and craft cream sodas.
Yeah, the top craft brewery in my little city here, Victoria, British Columbia, they started making non-alcoholic soda. They do a ginger beer, or like ginger ale and root beer. The only downside is I looked into the nutrition facts on them. They're super high in iron, for whatever reason.
Huh.
Like 355 milliliter bottle gives you 20% of your daily iron.
Maybe that's has something to do with what they use to make it there or something.
Yeah, I've always thought it might be a byproduct of the brewing process. Could be that they brewed in big iron vats.
Well, I recently learned that you have to be careful of things like that. Things like iron, and too much calcium.
Well, too much anything it's bad for you, right?
'Cause I had a kidney stone, man, and that was horrible.
Yeah, I hear that those are pretty painful.
Oh, I never
gotta
felt
piss it
anything
all
like
out,
that
right?
before. Oh yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was excruciating.
Yeah, it's one of my fears to get one of those. But there's a place in Southeast Asia where they don't have too much iron in their, like they have little to no iron in their diet in this little area. So some scientist, doctor, whatever he was, he said, hey, why don't we just make these little tiny fish made out of iron, and you boil a soup up and they put these little iron fish in the soup, and it gives them enough iron to avoid whatever, I think it's anemia when you don't have enough iron.
You've got a bad echo.
Is it me?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh. Hello. Yeah, I know it's not me.
I don't know, man.
Cut your mic off real quick and we'll see. Hello. Yeah, it's definitely you because there's nothing now.
Well, I think we'll survive for now.
What happened to Sir Thomas?
I don't know. It looked like he was probably at Ashley's house.
Yeah, he wasn't saying anything. He motioned to the TV, so I think he's watching pay-per-view with Ashley, and she doesn't like him to be loud when they're watching TV.
So he's not doing a show tonight?
He did it last night.
What's that?
He did a show last night. He did needle felting.
Yeah, but you can't substitute one night for your regular night. Your regular night's your regular night.
Tommy does, man. He's done it before.
Yeah, no, that was originally the whole premise for me making a show, was so there would be something on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. every week without fail. I mean, unless like the whole grid goes down or something.
Yeah.
The whole time Jay Leno did the Tonight Show, if I'm correct, I don't believe he missed one single night.
Hey, man,
How many years was that? Decades?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Jay Leno's a hardworking guy. And you got to remember that there's a pretty big paycheck involved with those shows.
Well, you know that he he claims that he never spent any of his Tonight Show money, that the only money that he actually lived on was the money from him going out and still doing the Vegas shows and the comedy shows he would do every weekend.
Right. Yeah, that can be pretty lucrative.
Well, especially when you have a name like him, you know.
You know what he does now? He has a YouTube channel. It's called Jay Leno's Garage.
He's had that for about 5 years.
Yeah, and he just does crazy things with cars. Really cool restorations, really cool builds.
Actually, I think it's only been about 2 years that he had that, because it's only been a couple of years that Hollywood has been jumping on the YouTube bandwagon.
Yeah, but I think he does it of his own accord. I mean, he's not associated with any talk shows anymore. You know,
he has his own production company. It's just like Jerry Seinfeld does comedians in cars getting coffee.
Hey James, were you the one who showed or linked to that guy in New York who hangs around? There's a square in New York. He hangs around and films all the, people around there.
There's a few people. I mean, there's quite a few people up there to do it.
I can't remember what his name is, man, but he hangs out in the square and he's friends with all these kind of like, what some people would refer to as subculture kind of people,
Ooh.
Different citizens.
Are you talking about Matthew Silver?
Could be, yeah. Let me check that out.
The guy with the big long beard and hair. Yeah, Matthew's a friend of mine. I met him while I was in New York.
Hey man,
that's not the guy I was talking about, but he's a really interesting guy too.
Is there still any beatnik culture going on in New York?
Beatnik. I'm not familiar with that term.
Okay, yeah.
50s, 60s thing. It was people who were big time into poetry.
Yeah. I'll be right back again. I got
poetry and literature.
So is that a hockey puck up on your shelf back there?
Yeah, hang on. Let me grab that. It's from an old junior team that played here. They changed the name. It's now the Grizzlies, but it used to be called the Victoria Salsa.
Salsa.
And their logo was this crazy chili pepper guy. The whole team signed it, but it's all rubbed off.
Why would
this was their old logo.
That's an odd name for a Canadian hockey team.
It's very hard to see that with this webcam, but that's their old logo. It's basically a crude cartoon jalapeno pepper man with a hockey stick. He's really pissed off.
Is it like Mexican
Canadian? It's a really weird name for a Canadian hockey team, especially one here where there's not a lot of salsa, Tex-Mex, nothing like that. There's only a few Mexican eateries.
Yeah, I heard last night you were saying something about, I think it was you, somebody was talking about the French Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine what the Mexican Canadian accent would be like.
It's not really. It's not that. It's not as well established, so it hasn't become its own regional accent. There's South Americans and Mexicans are relatively new imports to Canada. The French Canadians have been here just as long as the English, right? Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Since the 1600s. And I don't know if you know anything about Canadian politics or what the French Canadians are like. We don't have states. We have 10 provinces and a few territories.
Oh.
The provinces are the ones that matter. They're the ones along the border. And one of those 10 provinces is called Quebec, and it's almost 100% French Canadian, francophone. So the official language is French and then English.
Hmm.
And they want to separate from Canada. They want to make their own sovereign nation. Quite a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few states in the United States that talked about separating. Texas is a big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, Texas is a big state.
The Lone Star State.
Yeah, we were talking about a province, separating from Canada, and I mentioned how Texas wanted to secede from the Union.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that during the Confederate era, or is that more recently?
Oh, just recently, in the past couple of years.
I can't say that I'm too surprised.
There was also talk of Florida splitting in half and turning into 2 states.
That sounds ridiculous to me. I
Like
guess just because it's such a small place.
Florida is a long state. It's not very wide, but it's long.
Yeah. Well, so James, did you see my invitation to that page that I shared?
What was it?
I'm looking for it right now. I can't remember what it was called. It's called Fresh Water and Food for Everyone.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a buddy of mine started that page here in town. He's trying to get this movement off the ground to create jobs in neighborhoods and to basically produce fresh water and food, I suppose. I haven't really had much time to look into it, but I decided I'd like the page and then follow it.
There's a machine that it hasn't made. It's not commonly known, but this machine. Oh, the echo's really bad now. Okay, this machine. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, the machine. What it does is it's a countertop machine, kind of like a dehumidifier, except what this machine does is you set it up on the counter and you hook it up, and it actually pulls the moisture from the oxygen and creates drinking water, filtered drinking water.
Okay.
The yield is probably pretty small.
And these machines, what I saw being talked about was in countries and nations that have a water shortage, or even places like California right now, where they could create these machines where people could buy them for their home, or small cities and towns can actually set up these machines to create their own water from the atmosphere, which that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Makes you wonder, though. I mean, it probably draws a lot of energy.
It does draw a lot of energy.
I imagine they do it via condensation, and he probably has a refrigeration unit and runs something cold to get water to condensate on it and drip into a collection.
I'm not sure exactly how it works. There's actually a couple YouTube videos about it that you can see one of the countertop machines, how it works.
I see. The reason I say condensation is because that's one, you think about how does water from the atmosphere become water that you can see. Usually condensation or rain.
There's so much out there, so much technology out there to do with food and water and power that our country really doesn't want us to know about.
Well, I could say because I work in an industry that thrives off of people buying so much more food than they need, and people, I guess mostly companies producing way more than they need, to meet the demand. That would put a lot of huge corporations at a loss because there's a lot of money in the food industry.
Did you know that they just passed some laws in France? I think it was France that stores and restaurants, grocery stores, it's illegal for them to throw usable food away now.
I saw that.
That any usable food has to go to food banks.
Yes. Yeah, that's tremendous, man. I really think that they should put that in effect all over the modernized world. And at our store that I work at, we do donate quite a bit of food to the local food bank. It's called Manna Food Bank. We donate a ton of food to them every week. And so that's good, but it's not even it's a percentage, but it's not the majority by far of the stuff that we throw away. You know, as far as fresh meat, produce, especially produce, stuff that has basically nothing wrong with it. You know, but they get a new load in, so they throw the old load out.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to. Once it gets close to expiration date, that's basically. I'm not going to say they have to. They really don't have to, but that's basically common procedure for stores because they really don't want to be giving the food away, to be honest.
Right.
I think it's a combination of things too. Like it takes away the legal aspect that if they sell food that's gone bad, someone could sue. Right?
I know
that's what our boss said.
I know that
and the other thing too is that it would attract, let's say that every day at 5 p.m. they give out their food. Well, soon there's going to be people coming before 5 p.m. to line up. Early bird gets the worm, right? And they might not. Businesses usually don't like,
Yeah, but it normally
hang around their storefront.
But it normally doesn't work that way, though. It normally is like an organization or somebody that comes and picks it up. It's not like just distributed out to anybody that comes and gets it.
Yeah.
Well. This is frustrating.
There's a guy, if you Google his name, Rob Greenfield. I met him when I was in New York, and Rob Greenfield did a bicycle tour. I think he left California, and his last destination was New York. I think his last destination was New York. Anyway, he stopped in a lot of major cities, and what he did was he for a weekend in the city, they went around and they collected food out of dumpsters, food that restaurants were throwing away, that stores were throwing away. All the stuff was being disposed of. And then he did this big reveal in a video that showed all of this food, just like amazing amounts of food that was just being thrown away. And what his whole thing was about showing about food waste in America. So actually, your friend might be interested in him, Rob Greenfield.
Rob Greenfield. Okay. I'll be sure to pass that name on to him, and he might already know about him, but if not, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you've got a pretty deep knowledge base of names and stuff like that. So I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing that knowledge with us, man.
Rob's actually doing a YouTube channel right now called My Teeny Tiny House. If you search for that, you'll find his videos. And he's living in this tiny little homemade trailer that he built off the grid in California. And his only power is from solar panels. His water is harvested from the rain. He cooks with either wood or a little propane. His toilet is a compost toilet. So all of his waste is being recycled.
Hey, Jim.
Wow, man.
James.
Yeah.
I noticed that it's usually dark when you're in the hangouts.
I'm sitting outside right now.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like a pretty nice place.
There's a wall behind me, but I'm outside.
Where are you at?
At my friend's house.
Sounds like you're in a room.
No, there's like a roof over here.
I see.
What is this, trivia?
He's actually geo-tracking me right now.
Oh, man. I should have known something was up here.
Tommy's
I'm curious as to.
Tommy has him on a special assignment.
And I was curious as to why it was dark, and then you mentioned you're outside, and it sounded like you're inside. So I just asked the natural, curious question.
Yeah, there's a roof over right here. Where I'm at.
Because now that I can hear it, I hear like bugs.
I hear crickets,
cicadas or whatever.
Oh, that's because I got this mic hooked up.
Oh,
What
nice.
kind of stand is that, dude?
What's that?
What is it attached to? That stand looks cool.
No, that comes with it. It's a Yeti.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Nice.
That's nice.
I should get something like that for mine.
This is called a Yeti Blue.
Yeti Blue.
It's a USB powered mic.
Oh, cool. Are they expensive? I mean, more than $50?
When this one was new, it was like 200, but I didn't pay 200. I bought it. About a year and a half ago off of eBay. I think I paid like $70 for it.
Maybe this year around New Year's I could get some new equipment, and that might be the type of thing I'll look into getting if the show's still going. And I do plan on every week I plan on keeping on doing this, although, we kind of made this agreement, Tommy MC 2020 and we made this agreement that I'm going to come on his show one week, and the next week he's going to come on my show, and here it is. It's my show, and he's not on it. But I do want to give a shout-out to Tommy NC 2010 for inspiring me to make a Google Plus account, start doing YouTube videos, and now here I am having a Hamza Talks, man. So that's obviously following in the footsteps of the Yeti known as Tommy NC 2010.
Yeah,
Yeti. Yeti.
It doesn't Yeti mean like a Bigfoot type of thing?
Yeah, it actually is. A Yeti is like a Bigfoot that goes through the woods going.
Yeah, Tommy NC 2010 is a Yeti that goes through YouTube doing that.
Yeti is a Himalayan creature. It's part of the Himalayan.
Every once in a while.
Oh, cool.
Every once in a while, when I'm really, really bored and I have like nothing at all to do, I'll turn on one of his vlogs, and it kind of reminds me of like a Yeti walking through the streets of Black Mountain.
Well, you know what that reminds me of? It's hilarious. I just typed Tommy NC 2010 into YouTube the other day and looked at the results to see how many of them were not his videos, And on the second page, I believe, there was some videos. One of them was titled "The Top 5 Moments of Vlog 39 of Tommy NC 2010," and I watched it, and someone had taken his hour-long vlog or whatever and condensed it into about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes at the most, and they had the top 5 moments, and they did some editing and added in a little Bigfoot at one point, and it was just funny. You'll have to look it up, man. Anybody that watches this should look it up.
Does that video happen to have more views than his actual vlog?
No, it probably should, though. It really actually should. Whoever edited it was a genius.
Well, yeah, but I told Tommy before, that his vlogs need to be three minutes. Not 45 minutes.
Yeah. I guess he thinks maybe people turn on his vlogs and then go brush their teeth and get ready for work and just keep the vlog on the whole time. That's how I used to try to do with Tommy Talks. I'd watch it the next day, and I would just turn it on, and then I'd be cooking breakfast and getting ready for work and whatever, just listening to it out of the corner of my head.
You know why the vlogs are really that long? It's because he does his segments, and at the end of the day drags them all into the movie maker. And he doesn't really know how long it is. He doesn't rewatch it. He doesn't see the number 30 colon.
He doesn't know how to edit.
Yeah, he told me he didn't even know how to do some things that I thought he did know how to do, some things like splitting clips and taking pieces out of smaller videos. Because anytime anyone calls him up and says, "Hey, I don't want to be in the vlog, man," instead of just re-editing it, he'll take the whole thing down and delete it or whatever. That's frustrating because he'll have some good footage in there, but he'll delete the whole thing because there was a 30-second clip with somebody that didn't want to be on YouTube.
He actually does that. I can't see Tommy taking the video down too easy.
Someone usually has to badger him pretty bad about it, and threaten some kind of legal action or something, There's been some instances where he's taken down vlogs and deleted the whole thing when he really could have just edited it, but he told me he didn't know how to edit. So one of these days I'm going to sit him down and show him how to do some really basic stuff.
He can do it right there on YouTube once it's uploaded, and not lose the views.
Oh, really? With the YouTube editor that they came out with?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, you can actually, you used to not be able to, you used to be able to edit, but you lost the views you already had. Now you don't.
Nice. Nice. I did not know that at all. Good stuff, man. But so, anything interesting happened this week down where you're at, James?
Not really, just, well, my friend's been out of town for a few days, and I've been taking care of his cats here, and I've been going through some paperwork and stuff I to needed to dig out and go through and try to get some things sorted out for myself.
Cool.
Really not much. Cut my friend's grass for him today. I got to pull the headphones away when I talk because that is really echoing really bad.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Well, you know, I was trying to get a guest to come in here tonight. That would be pretty exciting to talk to, but I haven't gotten a response, and so now I know the struggle. But last week I just came on here by myself, I think, and I was just rambling on, and I was playing records out of my record player, and I think one thing that I said I was going to do was I said this week I'll turn on the record player and show the tubes in the back of it because it's an old tube record player. So
Oh, wow.
maybe I'll fire it up and then I'll bring the laptop over there and show it.
Here's something you'll be interested in. There's a new turntable that came out that actually is a laser. It has no needle, and you put your records in, the tray comes out, you put your records on, the tray goes in, and the laser, just like a CD, actually reads the vinyl.
That's interesting. And you know what? That goes hand in hand with the revival of vinyl.
Right,
I don't know
exactly.
if you've ever noticed, but the other day I went into a place called London Drugs, and it's basically like a small version of Walmart. You know, they sell everything. And I went to go buy some TV cables, so I went to the electronics department, and no CDs, not a single CD, but the whole wall was covered in vinyl records.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good price too. They were like less than a CD would cost.
Well, I've heard some reviews about that laser turntable. I've heard good reviews. I've heard bad reviews. I've heard that there were people that said they didn't like it because the laser doesn't actually touch the album, so it doesn't give that sound. You know, that kind of a crisp sound. You know,
Well, you probably don't get that kind of white noise that happens when it's
right.
not.
It's no noise. It's basically just like playing a CD.
Right.
You know, so it's too clean for audiophiles that like that vinyl sound.
Yeah. And you must know, like, audiophiles are a very particular brand of, fanatics. You know, they really get into, especially when it's about audio quality and listening to music.
Wow, look at that old tube set. Hamza, turn your mic
Get
off.
that hat out of there.
Or black box it, the blue box it there. We can't see it. It's too small. Oh, that was new. Look at that.
It's a lot of tubes, man.
Now, what kind of turntable is that? That is very interesting. You got your mic turned off.
It was really hard to showcase how the glow and the illumination of the tubes there look so cool and majestic because, you know, the glow from the laptop was kind of lighting everything up in there. But it's cool, man. You know, in the dark, you can look over there, and it's just got this nice warm glow coming out of the back of it, man. And there's like 12 tubes in there.
Hamza,
Yeah, I'm saying there's a lot of them.
there's an idea for you. You should start a whole new YouTube channel and do reviews of old vinyl records. Every show, do a review, a whole review about music on that album.
Man, I'd love to do something like that. If I had the time, I would definitely start doing something like that, because I've got hundreds and hundreds of records, man. Some of them are from the 40s and the 50s, and a lot of them are from 70s and 80s.
You really do have the time. The video, no, really, honestly, it's you listen to the music anyway, right?
No, I never have time to play the records.
No?
I could be doing it right now, though. You know, if I did that type of thing instead of, like, on the weeks that I'm going to be on Tommy Talks instead of doing my own show.
You wouldn't want to broadcast that live. What you would want to do is record that so it's in HD, condense it down to a 3-minute video, and upload at the same time, the same day each week.
I hear you. I hear you. Start to make like a segment out of it that's a regular broadcast. Okay.
Yeah, because that vinyl is coming back. I mean, you could even, I don't know what kind of wall you got back there, but you could just have a whole backdrop of vinyl cases, of record album cases.
Well, and that is something that I've wanted to do ever since I've lived in this house. I have a music room. You know, it was a bedroom that my brother was living in. It's a very small room, but you know, I've got this this room back here with the keyboard and the electronic drum set, and I've always wanted to take all the covers for those the vinyl albums and just put them all over the walls in here. And I think I'll start out doing it all across the top of each wall, so that way I'd have a border, you know, right up against the ceiling.
Yeah,
while
but
the hat was flying around.
Yeah, but you're talking about decorating the room. If you're going to do a show, all you need is just behind you.
Yeah, I could do one wall instead of doing the border idea, and it would actually be easier.
You know, the vinyl's definitely resurging, just like he said. And
you know something cool about the fact that you mentioned that vinyl backdrop in that video that we were talking about earlier. I can't remember if you were in here yet, but me and Mr. Rasmus were talking about. I just put up a Food Dude Review Crew video today, and in that very video, we show the wall of this restaurant that is completely just vinyl covers. I think actually the records are inside the cases there, you know, but there's just a whole wall of probably like 60 or so records tiled on the wall. It's the same type of idea you were talking about for a vinyl backdrop. I think, you know, with just squares next to each other.
That would even be an interesting place for you to do a video every week.
Hey, dudes.
Yo.
Maybe you guys can inform a youngin' like me. But what do the tubes actually do for the circuitry?
The vacuum tubes acted as the resistors, and not the resistors, the transistors in the circuits. And you know, there were dozens and dozens of different values. I mean, basically, there's tubes that power the output transformers, and there's tubes that you know, put everything in phase. I mean, you know, I don't know that much about audio circuitry, but I've read about it and looked at diagrams, and they were basically what they used before transistors were invented.
Do you know why they're in glass? Like why they look like light bulbs?
Because they're vacuum.
They're vacuum tubes. Yeah, I've got some guitar amplifiers that are made to run on vacuum tubes because the audiophiles, the tone aficionados, really are convinced that the tube circuits sound a lot warmer and a lot more vibrant and what's the word I'm looking for? Dynamic than transistors do. And you know, the really state-of-the-art technology that they have now just really doesn't have the same type of liveliness as
Yeah.
as the tube circuits. So that's why I have that tube record player, man. I
Well,
used
that's
to
cool.
play music
Yeah,
at
I
the
knew
place.
that a lot of old amps ran off tubes, and even today you can buy new amps, usually high end, that use tubes.
Yes.
But I
Yeah,
never knew that there were things like record players and all that. But having said that, I was in the guitar shop like maybe a year ago, looking
Uh-huh.
for looking for some piano music, and I just wanted some nostalgia, so I looked at the guitars and the amps, and some of the most expensive ones were these big old Black Mesa, you know, whatever they're called, amps, and they had
It's
two
a
little
boogie.
tubes in them, two little tubes, and they were totally pricey, several $1,000s.
They probably had more tubes than just those two, but
It had two visible tubes,
the
right?
visible ones are the preamp tubes because you might have to change them on a
Okay.
semi-regular basis, once a year or depending on how much you're playing. But yeah, man, yeah, the tube thing is something I never knew about before. I heard of big TVs having tubes in them, and that might be a whole different thing. Or projector TVs.
You don't have an old tube set TV?
No, one at one point in time I had one, and I sold it almost as soon as I got it.
Does Tommy have a tube set TV in his bedroom?
I don't know.
He doesn't. You don't know if he has a flat screen or tube set.
I'm assuming he has a flat screen. Yeah, actually, I think he got a new TV at some point since I've known him, and out out with the old boxy TV and in with the flat screen. I don't think it's very big, but yeah, it's one of the newer LCD HD TVs probably.
I would have thought he would have had like an old tube set.
Like a console TV?
No, just an old tube set. Just a square tube TV.
I guess the picture tubes are way different than the vacuum tubes that they use in these kind of things.
No, they're actually just a
Guitar
big
amp,
vacuum
play it
tube.
loud enough. Can't you blow up the tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because if I don't use my record player for a few months and then I turn on a record, you smell this smell that it smells like the thing caught on fire because it's the dust. The
I
dust
see.
that collected on the tubes is burning off of them.
Because they get warm and then it starts to burn it off, right?
Let me tell you a story. One time I was selling a guitar amp, and this chiropractor came to my house, and he was talking about how he didn't have enough money to pay the price I was asking for. He's a chiropractor, and then the thing is, at the end, it was kind of pissing me off because he gave me a lower amount of money than I originally wanted, and then he called on the phone as he was leaving, called a music store, and he told the guy at the music store he wanted him to set him aside some stuff. He was going to come buy it, and it was just like $100 worth of accessories. And I'm like, so dude, you had the money. You could have given me the money. But here's the thing. He came in the house, and before we started negotiating the money, he turned on the amp. He started playing the guitar, and within like 15 seconds, there was a plume of black smoke coming out of the back of the amplifier. I mean, humongous cloud of smoke. And I looked in the back, and the tubes were actually on fire. They were
Jesus.
manufactured with this sticker around the outside of them because they have brands of tubes, and it said like groove tubes or something. That's what Fender uses, groove tubes, and it said groove tubes, and the sticker was actually, I guess, so old and just getting kind of cracked up and dried out, and it actually caught on fire because of the heat from the tubes. And I told him what happened. I said, "Oh, that's just the sticker from the tubes, man. No big deal." And I turned it off, let it cool off, and then I kind of peeled the stickers off. They were burnt to a crisp. I threw them away, and he bought the amp. So who's the bigger sucker, me for lowering the price or him for buying an amp that caught on fire when he turned it on?
That's a good question.
Although,
But you know what?
honestly,
Maybe
I
if he
think
paid full price for the amp, he wouldn't have been able to get the accessories.
Yeah.
that's true.
If he was really a heavy duty audiophile, what may have bothered him was the fact that the stickers were not still on there. The original tubes didn't look original. They weren't. Oh no, now I'm going to have to find some reproduction stickers to put on there so that it looks original.
But that brings a good point. Are you an audiophile because you love the way something sounds, or you're not involved because you collect it as a museum piece. You know?
Yeah.
Because if you were into that look, with down to the authentic stickers, you got to ask yourself, well, if I was in 1960 and I bought an amp, chances are most people took those stickers off because to risk the flames that Hamza had.
Yeah, but you always hear that when somebody's like a collector, like a car, somebody that collects cars, or they have like, my car's 100% original. I've even got the original. I've got the original window sticker. I've got the original. I have the original title. It's,
Yeah.
It's just in that person's mind that they believe that it's worth so much more. And
That's the thing. It's usually what sets it apart from the others, right?
yeah, and that's the thing. Whenever that guy has this, he may have turned around and said, "Oh man, you won't believe this this amp that I picked up from this guy. I drove up there to Black Mountain, and God, it even had the original stickers on the tubes, man. It was amazing."
Yeah. Yeah, I could hear that happening, man. There's a big thing with vintage guitars. You got to have the original pickups. The original magnetic pickups. You got to have the original pickups, or else it's like totally not that cool.
See, same thing.
And there's usually a piece of plastic, just a really thin piece of clear plastic on the guitar pick guard. And most people peel it off after about a year because the corners start coming up, or you tear it up with your pick when you're playing. And every once in a while you'll see a really old guitar that still has the plastic on the pick guard. And you don't want to take it off because that's part of the original piece. But if you took it off, it would look like a brand new guitar again.
Yeah, as long as the plastic wasn't scraped through.
Right.
Somebody playing it. But I guess a person that has it like that probably hasn't played it much. They just bought it for their collection.
Yeah, in most cases, yeah.
Thinking that one of these days it's going to be more valuable because of the pick guard. It's
Well,
never been
guys,
played.
I didn't actually come on with much of an agenda tonight. I just wanted to make sure I filled this spot here tonight, and I'm really glad to talk with both of you guys and get the link out there for the Fresh Water for All website. I hope everybody can check that out because even if you can't donate, it's good to know about these kind of things that are going on. And I don't know actually that much about it, but I did put the information, and I plan on getting more into that later on. But I'm actually going to have to call it quits early tonight because I got to work really early in the morning. And you guys, if there's anything either one of you want to talk about before we leave, I'd be glad to give you the floor.
Yeah, give me a shout on Mr. Rasmus YouTube channel. Go to any of my videos and comment in the comment section what you want to see on the channel. Give me an idea for a video. I might just do it. And be sure to check out Hamza's other videos, as well as the Food Dude Review Crew's other videos, for a taste of Black Mountain, North Carolina.
Yeah, I hope that one day the Food Dude Review Crew expands and spreads its wings and heads out to other towns and cities, and like does maybe a whole tour, like the Trailer Park Boys did the tour a couple of years ago and traveled to different cities, and it'd be amazing to see like the Food Dude Review Crew, like eating at buffets all around the country.
Well, we are major fans of diners, drive-ins, and dives, triple D's. I hope you've checked that show out, man. That's a good one. It's probably on Netflix and YouTube and stuff. Yes.
I haven't seen that show yet. I'm gonna have to. You said it's on Netflix?
Yeah, I believe it is. Guy Fieri. He's kind of I guess he's a famous restaurateur of sorts, and he just goes around and checks out like some of the most popular restaurants, and some of the most like local popular restaurants all around the country. He goes to like every state and tons of different cities and checks out major cool stuff, man. I mean, the stuff they show on that show makes you feel like I don't know, regular places are just nothing, but I still love food everywhere, man.
There's also a guy on YouTube that you guys should check out. It's Furious Pete.
Oh yeah, I follow him, fellow Canadian.
Furious Pete does he does some food challenges that are pretty amazing, and he does some traveling and touring and visiting different restaurants and stuff. I
Yeah,
actually
he's
met
got a cool series. He was contracted by maybe an Austrian or German production company to be the face of their show, where they go to different cities and he kind of just eats ridiculous amounts of foods at each of the cities.
Like Man versus Food?
Yeah, he's kind of like a Man versus Food, but it's a little bit more of a kind of a travelogue as well as a food. It's a food-centric travelogue. That's what it is.
he
Okay.
eats a lot. That guy eats a lot.
Yeah, he's a competitive eater. He's actually going through a second round of cancer right now, but he's quite a positive guy.
I didn't know that. I met him in Orlando. I have a picture with him.
Yeah, what he's doing is every day during his treatment now, he's taking a picture of him smiling from ear to ear in his gown in front of the CAT scan machine, you know, saying day whatever, battling cancer, gonna win.
Hamza, here's.
Anyways, I'm gonna get going, dudes, but thanks for having me on, Hamza, and it was
Peace
good
out,
talking.
Mr. Rasmus. Y'all check out his channel.
This is a goal, real quick, before you go. Something that maybe you could put it together. You know, Tommy has only visited Blogger Fair. I think Tommy would be blown away if he went to Playlist Live. It's so much. Believe me, I didn't go to Blogger Fair, but I've been to four Playlist Lives, and I can tell you,
Playlist.
Playlist Live.
Okay.
And it's in Orlando. It's coming up in February. I think it's February again, and it's amazing. It's a whole weekend long. There's it's the second largest YouTube convention underneath VidCon. It's incredible.
Oh, cool, man.
And Tommy would love it there. He would. It's not about, like I've heard people talk about at
Blogger Fair?
Blogger Fair, how there really wasn't a lot of things to do, and they kind of got kind of bored, you know, and Playlist Live is definitely not that. You should start a crowdfunding campaign to raise the money for you and Tommy to visit Orlando together and go to Playlist Live.
Yeah, personally, just for me, if I could ever take some time off work, I'd probably want to take my kids somewhere, you know, and you know, but I'll look into that. What's it, crowdfund?
Well, you could do a crowdfunding campaign to raise the money. You
Okay.
don't know anything. You don't know anything about crowdfunding either.
No. Is that how you raised money to send that guy home to his family? That
No, actually, I just did that on Facebook. I didn't do a crowdfunding campaign.
Okay. Well, I'll look into it, man. I might have heard it mentioned before, maybe even by you, but you know, I'll talk to Tommy about it and see what he thinks. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for the night. And James, thanks again for coming on. And you know, we'll catch you, I guess, next week. I guess I'm gonna be going on Tommy Talks, unless if he doesn't have one, then I'll do Hamza Talks again. If he doesn't do one, I'll be here. Yeah,
you should do your show anyway. Your shows. I mean, you know, it's you get into different topics, and you talk about current events, and you talk about popular things, and Tommy just.
Well, believe you me, I had a huge agenda for tonight. If nobody came in the hangout, I was going to just rock some topics, but you know, they're always going on, man. There's always current events, and there's always controversy, and I really like to just go with the flow when people come in. So yeah, I'm always interested in talking about whatever comes up, whatever anybody's interested in. So who knows?
Well,
I might.
Thanks for having me, and you know, I still want to know what that other thing was that was in that box from the.
I asked him about that last night, and he flipped out on me. So.
Because I watched the video and I saw him, and he said, "There's something else in here, but oh no, I'm not taking that out," you know. And it's like, what is this? You know, somebody sent something.
I didn't realize when I was editing the video. I never realized that happened, and we were focused on another little tedious or another trivial part of the process that was. You know, about him putting that Confederate flag on the cat and the cat running away, and he wanted me to edit
I saw that. So What did he do with the flag? Did he put it up in his room? I haven't seen it. Like,
I assume it's on his wall. I had told him at work the other day that I thought he should put it on as a cape and wear it around town when he's vlogging.
it's a good
'Cause
idea. And go
somebody
visit.
had that idea.
Go visit Egerton, the guy. You know, with his it was his flag.
Yeah, man, that'd be a trip. That'd be a trip for sure, man. But anyway, I appreciate all your great ideas, man. You got great creativity, man, and I hope you have a great night, James. And everybody, thanks for watching tonight. Peace out, and we'll be here next time, either next weekend if I'm not on Tommy Talks, or the weekend after that for sure. And we'll keep the Hamza gang going. Peace out.